Oh, is it on? Is it on? It could be. It might not be on. I don't know. I've never done this via this way before. Hopefully everything's working out as it should. I hope so. There's 4 people watching. Please let me know if this is even remotely on and everything's working the way it should. Ah! Oh my god! I'm not gonna lie. I had a little nervous pee before this. I was like, oh, my heart was going. I didn't know what to do. Honestly, this was. Oh my god! Okay, people are turning up. It's absolutely petrifying. Marvelous. Well, welcome on this lovely black evening. This dark evening. It's just absolutely nothing out in Wales. What am I drinking? Right, I'll let you know. Little bar bookcase. Here we go. This is called Beer Garden by Night, and this arrived at my house today. What is it? I haven't even. Oh, I thought he just reads it. No, there's like proper like art to this. It's a Dunkelsweiss beer. Marvelous. Third by a red wine drink. Reading it. What am I even doing with my life? I'm answering. I'm queuing those A's. That's what I'm doing. So the first question, I marvelously done. So yeah, a Dunkelweiss beer. I think they had. I'm not sure why you're into my lamp then. I was so nervous. Oh my god! Look at all these peeps. Yes, mate. Mate, this is. Oh, right. Okay. So how I'm thinking this is going to work. So a lot of people left questions on my announcement video, being like just asking questions, and it's been a long time, so I'll probably dip in and out of everything going on in the chat and going through the comments on my phone. I think that's the best way to go about it. We'll start from the bottom. I know a lot of people kind of asked like multiple questions, but I'm just going to pick out the ones that I feel actually have an interested answer. But yeah, chat, go wild. So wild. Don't feel as though you have to keep it to books. Don't feel as though you have to keep it to books. This is a space of questioning. Oh, this is marvelous. All right, who we got? So yeah, go wild in the chat. So wild, absolutely wild. Okay, so we got supposedly fun. Let's start with it. The person who I want to say was like the main person to get me started doing this. So if you're not over it, Greg, pop over, because he's doing the Pulitzer Prize project where he's just reading all the Pulitzers, and I was like, I want to do the Booker, but I didn't think there's enough want for it. But I took a punt, and hey ho, 4 months later we got 1,000 peopleoons, which is a little bit crazy if you ask me. But so what's he asking? What do I like to do other than read? Right. I don't do much in regards to like socially wise bar read. I live in like a really small town. There's not really much of a community. So when the pubs are open, remember those days? I would kind of go there with my neighbours. I'd catch up in Cardiff, the capital of Wales, with a few people, but mostly between like traveling to work and traveling home, it doesn't leave you much time in the day. So apart from then looking after my daughters, which especially in COVID times is a huge chunk of my day. If I'm not reading, I'm either like looking for like new music or new bands, and I kind of like always want to like scour the internet for something in some way, shape, or form on that. And then like I feel like cooking is probably one of those things. Like, I kind of want to like, I always kind of like want to like try something new or like try to get something as best as I can. Which, by the way, people, my carbonara. Don't listen to my wife. My carbonara is off the charts. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. My carbonara. My carbonara is spectacular. I want everyone. I want everyone to know that. In this, my carbonara is something else. Oh, I did it on Instagram. 2K carbonara reveal. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. And then, yeah, now this is a question that Greg asked, which a lot of people ask, which is kind of like, how do I find time to fill all the videos, especially with a new baby? Okay. A nice, easy question. So I don't have much time in the day, but I read quite a lot. So all my videos are like 80%, I would say, like within like an hour, 2 hours of like actually finishing the book. So I don't really sit with it a lot of the time. So most videos that you'll see with me in the day, which is in this room, is when the oldest one is asleep. So I only have like a short space of time, like I have an hour and a half, and I'm like, right, I just got to do it here and then. Or I wait in the evenings, which will be about like, I normally stay up till about 11 midnight, like reading, and then I'll be like, okay, I pretty much got all my thoughts going, so I'll kind of just set the tripod up. I'll just get my phone, video. I'm like too awake, so I and then so I think the entire process only takes me about 3 hours maximum. There's times where I've had to jump on my Mac, this thing, where I kind of want to do like a little bit more with a video, but like all my Booker reactions are just done on my phone. So as I finished it, I'm editing and get it out fairly slapdash. But it's interesting because I feel as though, because I've always edited on my phone, not that I'm like adept at it, but I feel as though I can kind of like bash them out quite quickly. So I don't spend much time on videos at all, which is why when people say like, "Oh, how do you find so much time?" It's like I just kind of work around. Like if I lose 2 hours sleep, yeah, I lose 2 hours sleep. I have a newborn, so I lose lots of sleep anyway. Okay, comments. Okay, is Sun a band? Yes. Okay, Sun is a drone metal band, which is exactly as it sounds. It's just a wall of music, and the t-shirts I got is when I saw them last year. They came to Bristol, so I travelled down. But I brought two of my mates with me, but didn't tell them what the band was, and it was just 2 hours of the most incredible. It was amazing. It was a little bit like, not like life changing, but I've never experienced anything like that before. It's just 2 hours of people standing still, with just everything like so loud and just like one continual note. It was kind of like mesmerizing, but 100% recommend Sun. They are the best. Hi from Skegness. Hello, hello. And what we got here? Alex reviews Kieran Carbonara 3K special. Alex Carbonara reaction reveal. We got Ruby. Hello. Would you say your reading amount has increased since you started BookTube? Yes. There is this sort of, I don't know if pressure is the right word to say when it comes to on the internet, but you do feel as though you kind of want to get the videos out there for like the amount of books that you have to read in order to do that. It's a really difficult one. I would say the books that I've read are probably not on my like priority at times. Or say like with like Ali Smith. Like I kind of wanted to read it like I want to read like there and then to kind of because most of like the people were like who messaged me and comment were like Ali Smith's coming out like tomorrow. Are you buying it? And of course I had, but I suppose I maybe would have put it like a little bit quicker up my reading schedule. So dipping into books that I like want to read. Yeah, I suppose I've read more books like kind of like with my Booker project where I want to read them, but I probably wouldn't have read them as quickly as I have. But I've read a few books that I haven't reviewed, based on the fact I have pretty much like nothing to say about them. Um, or I just think they kind of just kind of mediocre. So yeah, it's a difficult one. I feel as though I read maybe at the same speed, at the same level, but the books that I choose um, are probably not what I would have chosen had I not been making videos. I still don't know how I kind of like work around there. Um, yeah. Is Troutmark Books the best secondhand book in Wales? I'm not going to speak for Wales. It's the only bookshop I will go to. Apart from like Waterstones, but even if I go to Waterstones in Cardiff, I will go to Troutmark Books, 100%. There. Also, the Offham bookshop in Cardiff, it's got a pretty good like literary fiction section. Um, some of the options are questionable. Some of them are questionable that I put in literary fiction. But yeah, 100 Troutmark. If you're in Cardiff, go there. He's incredible. He's incredible, and he's like really good with prices as well. Whew. And what we got? How are you getting on with the little friend? How far away from chapter 4 are you? I think I'm about like 100 pages away from chapter 4. I'm panicking I'm reading too slow. Um, it, it's difficult because I read it as a reread, so I feel as though I kind of naturally reading it faster, so I kind of know what's coming up. But like, you have to finish chapter 4 by next Thursday. There's no real schedule to the little read along. Hashtag little read along. If any of you want to jump on there, message me on Instagram or put a comment on one of my videos. I'll say I can join that. But I'm keeping that up until November. So if people are like life gets in the way. Life gets in the way. I'm probably more of a consistent reader than a fast reader. I just read consistently like 4 hours a day. Which probably feels as though I read a lot, but I'm just consistently reading. But yeah, I wouldn't panic too much in regards to like time frame. It's more the conversation is that's more important than how fast you read it. Like if you want to read a 700-page book in like 2 days, fine. Like you're going to be like so far like ahead of the conversation. And that's kind of like what I want to get out a little read long is kind of people just asking loads of questions, discussing it on the discourse. That's like the purpose of it. How and why did you get to study English lit as your PhD? Story of my life. Okay, so I was contacted by my old lecturer. So she contacted me and was able to get me a scholarship to do my master's in English literature and wanted me to focus on Romanticism, specifically the second school, which is John Keats, Blake, Byron, and Shelley. They're like the four big figures. And I completed my MA, and then this year, because in the UK you can have loans for doing a PhD, doctoral loans, like a student loan for PhD students. So basically it means it's free and I get £100 a year. Whee! So she contacted me straight away saying, we're on beer number 2, by the way. She contacted me straight away saying, hey, like there's loans, like I want you to do it. So I kind of had to like do a few tick box exercises. But yeah, she got me straight on the course. Oh, that. Oh, I wouldn't want to introduce you to my mother. Oh, what are you, proudly Bavarian? Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's strong. Whew. And yeah, so that's kind of like how I've got into it. I see there's another PhD question. What are you focusing on your PhD? Dante's Divine Comedy. No, so the the predominant texts I'll be looking at are John Milton's Paradise Lost, which I'm currently reading. Might have told the university I've already read it. So expect a review on John. Can you review Paradise Lost? I will, for some reason. We're reading that, and then it'll be on Lord Byron's closet dramas as well as Percy Shelley's closet dramas. So Prometheus Unbound, The Cenci, Manfred, and The Geo. So I'm looking at that, but really I'm looking at the image of Satan, or the Miltonic Satan, and seeing how so there's this satanic school of romanticism, which Robert Southey, whose first school with William Wordsworth and Coleridge, he called a second school the Satanic School, because they focused predominantly on satanic imagery, but it's more about people rebelling up against society, against culture, about religion, and how the Romantics really moved away from a satanic image more to one focused on Prometheus, the god who gave man fire and was punished for it, and then really moving that into how that like semantic shift has really like affected like the contemporary view of like this satanic image, but kind of how there's a lot of tropes that deal with a Promethean character, or something that we would probably call like a Byronic hero at times. I'm looking at that. That's kind of what I'm proposing. But I don't know if it's going to be that by the end of the 4 years from there. I've read 150 books so far this year, and now I'm in a slump. What do you do for a slump? Right, well, we're going to get examples. Right, okay, let's move over here. We go. Bah, bah, bah. Okay, so you go to your bookshelf. You choose 3 random books that you've not read, and you just kind of like weigh them up and think, what one am I kind of like interested in? So I'll say pick up this, and I'll read like 10 pages, and if I'm interested, I'll just read it. Or if I read 10 pages, I think, no, I'll move on to this one. That review will be coming up soon when I finish it. And you just kind of like move into these 3, but you have to choose one. That's kind of like my rule. Like you have to choose one. Like you bought the book, you're probably wanting to read it at some point. And then, yeah, just go from there. And then you're going to be reading something. And then, like, if you're not enjoying it, go like about 100 pages is, quit it, and then choose 3 other random books. But normally I just ask people, like, if they come in to my house, or say, oh, can you just choose 3 books that like catch your eye? But I mean, my shelves are kind of situated, so upstairs is all read books, downstairs are to be read. So I just have like one dedicated shelf where I can be like, pick 3 books, and I know that I'm not going to have like a duplicate or something that I have read. But I found that really helped, just having like one dedicated space of like, I've not read any of these. and you keep it like really separate. That's like the only way I've kind of like separated my books. I think it's a lot easier if someone was to say, "Can you recommend me something?" Because when you come like, so when I come upstairs to have a look, or if someone talks about a book and I kind of want to bring it, I'm one of these people who brings the book down. Oh, well, I talk about it and present it. I find just having like that separate space like a lot easier to navigate from there. I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, 3 random books, plow through them all until you find one that you like, but you have to choose one. That's all I say. Freshly read books, yes, Sarah, yes. Are we diddling? What's first up on your book of detox list? Books to read once you don't have the book hanging over your head. Well, I probably would have. I'm upstairs, so I can't be looking at those books. I've been interested in like rereading a Rushdie. So I have Shame I want to reread and review, and also Keyshot, which was shortlisted for the Booker. Darn it, Kieran, get away from it. Apart from that, there's A Visit from the Goon Squad by Jenny Egan. That's been catching my eye recently, and also Eleanor Catton's The Rehearsal, so her debut before she wrote The Luminaries. Oh, you're looking at me. Why are you up here? Probably this bad boy. I probably would have done it like just to kind of like get in the zone, which is A Suitable Boy by Vikram Seth. Chooses a detox book. But I kind of really want to like really document like my entire reading of this whole thing. So similar to my middle March vlogs, if you can call them. But I kind of want to do it in. It doesn't look like a detox to me either. But I just hear so many good things, and I feel as though like I like just need to commit to it. I just need to commit to it. But there's like so many good books. Oh, that's marvelous. I probably would choose there, but yeah, I'm kind of interested in doing like a full like reading vlog that might take like 6 months to complete. And maybe like put that up alongside my like review for it, because I don't even know like how can you review a book that big in like I don't know how long my videos are, like between 10 and 20 minutes. I don't think that's like really suitable. Uh, um, the Count of Monte Cristo, awful. Not gonna lie, I didn't get on at all. People, not me, not this one. Absolute toddle. Uh, let's have a look. CJ Reads, yes, CJ. What we got? I'll go back to my video. Sorry, I was just like looking down at my keyboard. She's gone. What's your favorite weird Welsh word? I've had many conversations with CJ about Welsh words. I think the most obvious one that people normally say is poppity ping, which is microwave. So poppity is bakery in Welsh. Ping is because it goes ping. So the microwave technically means like the microwave, the bakery that goes ping. And I think that's very clever myself with the Welsh language. I quite like pysgod wibbly wobbly. Pysgod means fish, and jelly goes wibbly wobbly. So pysgod wibbly wobbly, the jellyfish. I also like wibbler, or wilbur. No, Wilbr. Yeah, wilbur, which is a wheelbarrow. Oh, another one that used to make everyone like crease up. Or you just kind of like say it in school. Is the sport squash is sponken. I'm gonna type the word in sponken. Is it in? Spunken. That's spunken. Oh gosh. Is that Sponkin or Spunkin? I can't remember which one, but Spunkin is pretty good. Did you read anything as a kid? Okay. I wasn't a big reader as a kid because my parents didn't really see reading as like anything important. So I vividly remember like I think I was about 9, 10, and I really want to get some books. Um, in Waterstones, I was like, yeah, fine, like whatever. So I chose two. I remember I'd just be like, but you'll finish those in 2 days. It's like a waste of £20. Um, so that was kind of bad. I read Harry Potter up until the Goblet of Fire, but I wasn't really enamored or enthralled by Harry Potter. Um, I found the Goblet of Fire just a little bit boring. But I did read all, not because they were bought for me, but because I had a friend in school, Charlotte, who had the Darren Shan Cirque du Freak series, and she would pass them on to me, and I read all of them. So I really want. Um, I quite like. And then what would I want to read together? We do have all of Narnia because I read The Lion of the Wardrobe and Prince Caspian in school and really enjoyed those. So I'd kind of like to go through the other 5 novels, or the 7 books or 6 books of Narnia. I'd like to go through those with the girls. Um, I wouldn't mind doing the Darren Shan. They're a little bit like kid friendly, but I love them. I'd love to go back. Actually, see like were they actually any good? Because the film is awful. Don't watch the film of the Cirque du Freak. Oh, horrendous. Uh, I don't think I could think of apart from those. Let's have a look. What have we got on the kids' shelf? We did buy a really nice edition of Aesop's and Grimm's fairy tales. Because I never had any of those read to me, so that would be quite nice as well. What was it? I lost a trivia question on what was the national vegetable of Wales. It was multiple choice, and I got it wrong. It's the leek. It's the humble leek. It's an onion. Put it in your stews. Put it in your casseroles. You'll never go wrong. Trust me. Hi, buddy. How we doing? What are some books you can recommend that shaped you as a human being? One book that you need. And I think it was Matthew asked as well. I think I saw this on my thing. If it's not you, I apologize. But one book shaped me as a reader, as a person, as everything, and the reason why I don't watch TV as like a really broad rule. Apart from like a few things, I pretty much like won't turn it on. A reason like I sold like my like all my gaming kit. I got rid of like my laptop. I got rid of like everything. I was like, I just like crack on with this. Infinite Jest, David Foster Wallace. That book, incredible. Incredible. I cannot tell you how influential David Foster Wallace was to me. That like I read all of Infinite Jest, which was like 1,400 pages in 6 weeks. I lost my entire life to it. I'd wake up at 5 and I would read until I started work at 9. I would take my hour lunch break and I wouldn't go to lunch. I would just read, and then I would come home, and then from like the moment I got in, like whilst cooking, up until like midnight, I would just read Infinite Jest. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Now, is it an exciting read? It's not. It's not the most. There's a lot of trudging you have to do through it. That's kind of like the message of it in regards to like people look for media for an escape. They look through entertainment as a form of release. So it's like, this book that's kind of promising you this aspect of entertainment escapism, but is really there like controlling you to like become like it never forces you to shut off. But when you do shut off, it's in like the wrong points. It's incredible. I really want to do a video on Infinite Jest, and I kind of have like some plans. More like a video essay maybe on Infinite Jest, but I really want to take my time with it to like do it justice, because I have seen a lot of reviews on Infinite Jest where they kind of like don't talk about Infinite Jest. They kind of talk about like it's a hard read, or don't really talk about like what's going on in it. But I do want to revisit Infinite Jest to like go into it. When that's going to happen, I don't know, but it's going to happen because I love it. Have you considered the German Romantics and their devil figures? Yes, so I do have all of Goethe's works currently on my to be read as well. Thank you very much, young man. I was once in your shoes, as I said. I was all fours there on twos. I like the style. I'll use lube, it won't hurt too bad. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Cool. I don't know how to respond. Favorite writer you wish more people would read. I really struggle with this because I feel as though I don't like all of an author's works. So I remember saying David Foster Wallace, and then I read The Broom of the System and The Pale King, and didn't finish them because they were both twaddle. To be honest, in my eyes, I thought they were crap. I mean, The Pale King would have been good, but David Foster Wallace killed himself, so he didn't finish it. So they had to kind of like slapdash something together, but no. And yeah, it just wasn't. They weren't good. Eggs and Toast. Hello, how are we doing? We're drinking something. I don't know what this is, but it's not great. Ugh. Where was I? Yeah, like I would say Harper Lee, but so I love Harper Lee, but having read Ghost After Watchmen, no, it was weird. Possibly. Who have I got on my chart? I'm trying to think of like who I wouldn't get rid of. Possibly. Dostoevsky's pretty solid. Dostoevsky, I don't think you can go wrong with a Dostoevsky. He's become like my go-to if people say, "What do I want?" Like, if I need to read something, what should I read? Or if I only read one book a year, I normally go for Dostoevsky's. Um, Brian K. Vaughan's good, actually. Brian K. Vaughan. Let's. Who does Saga, and I've read a few other of his graphic novels, and he is absolutely superb. Paper Girls, utterly amazing. Why the Last Man, incredible. Saga, possibly like. I always feel weird saying like it's one of like my favorite books, because I do feel graphic novels get a bad rap, but Saga, absolutely incredible. I passed this on to my neighbor, and she was like, I don't really know, like, do I really want to read like a graphic novel set in space? And I was like, yeah, sure. And in about a few sittings, she smashed all 9 volumes of it. This is just the first 3. I'd probably say Brian K. Vaughan, now that I think about it. I've not read anything bad by him. Probably Coetzee as well. He's pretty solid in his writing. J.M. Coetzee. He's just so he's He's so subtle. That's what I love about him. Like, in the best way subtle. I'll probably put Avni Doshi up there. But it feels really weird saying my favourite author's only written one book. But I'm keen to see what Avni Doshi comes up with. Really keen. Like, super excited and stoked. Are you reading anything spook for Halloween? Any recommendations? No, I don't really tend to read for Halloween. I don't get any like enjoyment from like a horror or anything like gory or gruesome or like a ghost story. I just don't. I think there's so many like good books out there to read that I kind of don't want to read something that I'm like not reading for the sake of it, but like just for like the time and the place. That's just not me. Does Paradise Lost count? That's quite scary. There's a devil, and he likes fruit. Have a think about that. Who do you think you should win this year's Booker? And who do I think will take the prize away? And is it a dark horse in the race? I've still not made my mind up about that. Because I have been asking those questions, like, who do I think is going to win, but who do I want to win? I don't know at the moment. I still have a lot of head scratching to do, but maybe freshly read books. I think we're going to be doing a Zoom call on that because we will. So actually, Sarah, I know you're in the chat. Like, do you have an answer? Because please put it down so I can have a think. I have no idea. Would love an intro. Would love a video on Infinite Jest because there's such a myth around Dave Oswald, but no one goes into details of his work. Yeah, 100%. I want to be that person. Book will shock us all, and Mantel will satch it. But I really want Mantel to like run up on stage and just be like, "It's mine," like a Kanye. Imagine if like Mantel did a Kanye. I want that. You want that. We all need. We don't want. We need that to happen. Mantel does a Kanye 2020 hashtag it. We need that to happen. If there could be two winners, anything goes. My panic is that they do like a Turner Prize of last year where they awarded it to everyone who was. I don't think they have a shortlist on the Turner Prize. That was weird. But they give all the money to charity. But still, it feels like a little bit weird that everyone won. Not really a competition at that stage, is it? Defeats the point. I was getting Mantel got ditched. I haven't finished Wolf Hall yet. I was more shocked. Similar. It's kind of what Zim Reed did a video on this, and I watched it after I put my video together, and I think he kind of summed it up. He was like, the shoe in wasn't the shoe in. And when I think about it, I was kind of like so switched off to Mantel in regard to like comparing all these books because I thought she's the shoe in. Like I didn't really have to think about it. Do I think the books that are shortlisted are? I do think some of them are better than The Mirror and Light. Like, if you can compare The Mirror and the Light to anything, I can see why, but I think it was just more of a shock that everyone thought it was going to happen, and the fact that it didn't. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. To be honest. Guaranteed. More so than like this book actually good. I don't know. It's still a bit weird though, isn't it? That she didn't. I'm not gonna lie. What have we got here? Oh god, it's just people saying lovely things to me. My question is some scary books, please. Anywhere you've been shit scared reading how to turn all the lights. Okay, we'll go for like a normal story, a story that's a bit weird. Where is it? Oh shit! Okay. House of Leaves isn't a horror. It's not a horror, and I'll argue that to the end of my days. So, okay. The first story of Edward Lee's Bullet Through Your Face. Okay, I'll read the back. I'll read the back of it. No writer is more extreme, perverted, or gross than Edward Lee. That's how it starts off. It's 3 short stories in this. Evernatt the Salt Diviner and The Refrigerator Full of Sperm. I know. Evernatt is possibly the weirdest story I've... No, not weird. It's just about this man who gets kidnapped and is just violently, like, tortured by these 2 hillbillies for, like, years, and they only feed him pumpkin. That's all I'm going to say on that. And then this book. Crazy story. And I remember... everyone, if anything happens to all of us after I talk about this book, I apologize, but F's in the chat. Everyone, I'm going to put an F in the chat because I'm scared. So I go pick up a wife. I wish this is like a fake story, but it's this book. It's the Zohar, like a plain bag book. It's so weird. Pick up a wife from work, and she goes, Kieran. And you know it's a good sentence when it starts off with, so this Jew came in, and I was like, oh, who's it now? I'm just like, oh no, it's someone from the synagogue. She goes, this Jew came in, but he's like dressed up like Hasidic. Like he's got the payah, like the hat, the gown, everything, and I'm like, there's no Hasidic community in Cardiff, so I'm like, okay. And he said, I feel something inside me that tells you I have to give you this book. And I'm like, what do you mean? Plain black, silver, like just came into a store, spoke to her directly, and was like, there's a reason I need to give you this. Like, this is a solid, but this is like leather bound. And it's all in Hebrew. It's all in Hebrew. And I'm not that au fait with the Kabbalists, but it's just like it's a Kabbalistic like text. And we've just kept it because I'm like petrified. I'm a little bit like not weird with religious books, but like if anyone passes me one, I just like own religious books. I don't like read the Quran. I don't read like the Bible. But it feels wrong for me to like give them away or to give them to a charity or like sell them. I don't like that. But yeah, like this guy just turned up and was like, "This is for you." And I don't speak any. I guess it's so weird. I don't speak any Hebrew. But she was just given this book. Like this isn't a book you just give for free. Like, surely not. Like, please let me know in the chat if you think I'm like really like panicking over nothing. But like, there's no chance. There's no chance that the Kabbalah Center just gives these for free. I don't believe it. That's like the scariest book. I remember just like it being in my car, being like, why, like, why, like it, like she's like a busy, like city centre in Cardiff. So what? Why has this person come in and was like, I need to give this like to you? Like something in me tells you that's petrifying. So there we go. So we have um, Torturing Hillbillies and Religion as the scariest book. Spook. It's not because it's now in my house and now I'm petrified. I can't get rid of it and I have to stay with me until my dying days. If you could only have one book on your bookshelf, what would that book be? I would probably say my OG copy of. Where is it? So this is the book I bought in Gatwick Airport, the 50th anniversary of To Kill a Mockingbird. Battered, I think. And this like got me into reading. This is like the first book I had like a moment. It's like the first book I'd say. A 16-year-old me like smashed this in like, I don't know, 4 days. I feel about like I didn't really read at all until I like went to university. Like at all. Like I just didn't read up till university. But yeah, I'd probably say this one because it was like the first book I ever owned. And if I was to only have it, I think I'd want to go like back to the roots. Like, this was like the first book I bought. I'm pretty sure this is the book I bought with my own money. So I'd got a job by that point. So I bought this alongside Lord of the Flies. And Lord of the Flies does not belong with me anymore. Rest in peace, Piggy. A guy once told my mum that he was a witch, and that he felt she was too. Like, oh my god, they're so hot. Even the fact that it's by me, I have to put it away. Look at it. Who gives this away? Like, it's very pretty. It's very pretty, but like, I don't know what any of it means. And hi, literary. It petrifies me. I hate having it in my house. Oh, panic. F's in the protect from this. But anything else I have? I don't think of like spook books. I don't. I mean, I have got a read. I got like a Bake Off Showstoppers recipe. I tried one, and that was a horror show. Trust me. I thought I could make a crock on bouche, but instead I made like wallpaper paste and a mess. And my housemates didn't speak with me for 2 days after the state of the kitchen. Ugh. What other questions have we got? Yes, Library of Alexandria. He didn't ask a question. Shout out, mate. You should use as decoration. No! Because it's gonna like pierce me one day. I'll fall over and break my head. Have you read the graphic novel Mouse? Yes. Mouse Volume 1 and 2. Fun fact, I really want to get him on. He's probably going to catch us later. Levi. So he really wanted a book to read, and I recommended Art Spiegelman's Mouse, which is about it's a Holocaust story set where all the people are anthropomorphized, but like they're people with like the faces of the animals. So the Nazis are the cats, the Polish are the pigs, and the Jews are the mice. So it's like really played on this food chain. And he got it. He got like one of the what do you call it? I gotta say stills, but I don't think that works on a graphic novel. But like one of the like images from it tattooed on him. I gave my copy away of Mouse. That's what I probably bought Mouse like 6 times and just end up giving it away to people. I give a lot of books away, just to let everyone know. But yeah, Mouse is brilliant. Bury It in Your Garden, technically still in your house. We all know enough Pet Cemetery to know where that's going. No, 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 no. Ain't having that. He probably couldn't be bothered carrying around a heavy book with him every year. But why my wife? Why her? Why did he seek her out of everyone? I was like, I need to give this to you. No, it's too crazy. Just give me a proposal idea. Please don't. It's either the tattoo or you're going to give her the Zohar. And I don't recommend the Zohar option. I've got to run, but looking forward to a book chat. Yes, freshly read books. Yes. What other questions we got? Have you had a chance to read Utopia Avenue yet? No. I don't think I will get around to it. And the more that I hear about it, I don't think it's a typical David Mitchell novel. And nothing can top Number 9 Dream for me that he's written. Even Cloud Atlas, I don't rate Cloud Atlas. It's okay. But Number 9 Dream is like spectacular. Oof, cherries on top. And then, if yes, what's your thoughts? Sorry, I haven't read it. I do apologize. Tim Davidson. And have I read Eddie Zadie Smith, or would you be open to reviewing one in the future? Now, okay, if you're in the chat and you've read Zadie Smith, can you let me know what to actually pick up? Because I'm solely being tempted to read White Teeth by her. The other ones don't, maybe on BD. Isn't that based on another book? So I probably want to read the book that it's based on. But Zadie Smith, and I want to read Zadie Smith. I just feel White Teeth's probably the best one. The Bone Clock's very engaging. So I know the Bone Clocks kind of goes back to other books of his, so I've not read that one yet. Oh gosh, we got loads of people coming through. I tried Swing Time, but DNF'd. Swing Time, I can't remember what it's about. But no, I'm not. Similar to NW, I'm not. It doesn't. Maybe I don't think it's. I don't know. Embassy of Cambodia from Zaster is a novella. Maybe. White Teeth first. Okay, I feel as though I know my stuff sometimes. It's a bit of a chunkster. Maybe around like December time, I might get it. Something like that. Maybe. I don't know, but I'm very open to reading Zadie Smith. Also, if you have any recommendations, like drop them on the side, because I'm pretty keen to avoid. No, well, I know we're going to be reading it sometime. Please, can we put it off a little bit? As best I can tell you, I love the American Cavalier. Yes, I have the Evasions Adventures of Cavalier and Clay. I also have Summerland by him. The Police Union, the Yiddish Police Union, something like that. And I had Moonglow. I didn't really get on with Moonglow. And The Wonder Boys was okay. But yeah, Evasions Adventures of Cavalier and Clay, I really want to read. I own that. How do you feel about book adaptations to cinema or series? I'm completely okay with them, to be honest. I think they kind of like their own medium. So, not like the book better. I think naturally, like what you can do in, say, like an hour and a half versus what you can do in 400, they're two very different things. I only ask that the adaptation is true to the book. I do find it weird. I'm trying to think of something off the top of my head where I've read something. I've not seen The Goldfinch. I've not seen The Goldfinch at all. I don't think you could do it by a film. I just can't. I haven't read it. I don't know how the hell you could do it. So I'm not watching it. But yeah. It's similar to if you have, I think what's more weird is when there's films and then they're turned into books. that's a really weird thing. Yeah. I love this question from Gunpowder Fiction and Plot. If there was a KD Books Prize to take over the Booker Prize, you know what's going to happen one day. It's not. What would your selection process and criteria be to decide the best book of the year? And someone else asked me, I think it might be Simon Savage. I want to find it, but someone had asked, like, if I'll keep that question. Like, if I was to create a book prize, what would it be? And I would really want to do, which you will be seeing a video for it later on this week. So I'm starting doing books, not set in Wales, but from Welsh authors. So I'm only going to be doing like English translations of Welsh literature, or so I actually showed him earlier. What's that? There'll be a video on. I like Cullen Jones, like Was Still Aside and Cove. I want to like get my hands on them and kind of like showcase Welsh literature, because I personally feel as though Welsh literature is fairly so English authors all over the place. Scottish writers equally kind of like have their own standards. There's this real like renaissance of Irish authors, and Wales, as Wales always is this tiny piddly country that doesn't like have a voice. Or if people think of like Welsh authors, they go, "Oh, Dylan Thomas, he's not great." Like he's been dead for so long. Like no. Yeah. So I probably want to do something like that. Or something like a UK prize of like say 12 books, but 3 from each country. And that would be my only stipulation. I'd want to do something like that. So you are reading like a Scottish perspective, a Welsh, an Irish, and an English. Because I think when people think British, they don't view this as like a separate. I don't think they've. I don't. Yeah, I feel as though there's still this muddling between the nations. But that's what I would like to do. I think I'd want to do like 3 books from each. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Like as long as they something like that. I think that's interesting. But what would I decide? For like book, I think that was probably what Gunpowder Fiction and Plot asking for. Like, what do I think? I think a book shouldn't be timely; it should be timeless. And I think some books that do get, I'll have one. I will say, and have one. Feel very tiny, but once you're out of that zeitgeist, the message is lost. So that was similar to when I read Paul Scott's Staying On. Like I didn't really get what I was meant to get from it, if there was anything to get from it. If that makes sense. Whereas like Savile by David Story, really under appreciated work. I feel I really enjoyed it. I mean, I give it a 6. But still, the score thing's another thing. The score things, ignore the scores for now, because the scores very. That's the whole kettle. That's the whole kettle of fish that I deal with. But they all do fit a very certain criteria for me. Yeah, it's good. Like it's timeless. Like, it's if you like Shuggy Bane, you should be picking up David Story Savile. Like 100%. You shouldn't even be like looking at other books. Like if you love Shuggy Bane, David Stories, Savile, love it. You'd love it equally. Fun. Well, not funnily enough, actually interested. Both of them got 6 from me. So consistency, people. Michaela, the OG. Michaela was the OG. First person I actually had a proper conversation with, from, or like through, no, would it be through BookTube? Michaela, absolute shout out. Are you planning on doing a Zoom or in-person meet with Avni Doshi post-Rona? I would love to. I would absolutely love to interview Avni Doshi, and I would go ham. I would go. I would put my heart, sweat, and tears. I put everything aside to do that. If Avni Doshi wants to have a conversation with me, it's a very different thing. I mean, if people could set that up, if people could like ask, I'd be mucho appreciative. But yeah, I'd love to do it. I doubt she wants to speak to me. However, Avni Doshi does watch my videos though. She has watched my review after when I got my signed copy from me. She did put above the power drill. So clearly and she messaged me about the when I received it as well. We kind of like had like a few on-off conversations from there. I'm just looking at the book. I love Avni Doshi. I think she's incredible. And all her interviews that she does are like immaculate. Like they're just brilliant. But I'd love to do that. I'd love that. If someone could set that up, I'd be really happy. But it's not going to happen. I can guarantee she's. I mean, she's far from wanting to speak to a random Welsh boy who loved her book. And then Michaela also asked, "Where am I from?" I'm from the Rhondda Valley, in Wales, like South Wales, like all mining community. There. Am I still practicing piano? I plead the fifth. And GK Reads, who's doing hashtag little read along with me, little friend peeps. So what books are you scared of or dreading reading? So what's your the road basically? So Grace, you'll see this in a video. I think she's doing a vlog series on it. I think this is how she. So I think a few people who watch my videos watch her anyway. So I sent her like a pile of books. And she didn't open them on the video, but she messaged me saying I'm gonna do like a Kieran chose my reading. So I sent her like a good few books. So she's gonna like be pulling those together. So check out GK to see what but I sent her The Road because she says I never want to own it. I'm never gonna buy it. Never gonna read it. So I sent it to her. So now she has to read it. What book am I scared of? Ulysses by James Joyce. I keep putting off completely. I don't want to read it. Is there anything here I could think of downstairs? I'd like to know what people's. Yeah, can you just let me know? Like, is it like a book that you're like want to read to be like, no, not happening? Coy Reads is in the chat. But I will say Les Mis, I really want to read. I've read a few of the Victor Hugo. I've read Charles Go and One Last Day of a Condemned Man, which is really good. A really good short story. One Last Day of a Condemned Man, incredible. I'd probably say Les Mis and Ulysses, which is why we might be reading them together soon. If my copy arrives. What is the best sandwich filling? Grace also wanted to know. Coronation chicken, at me. I don't care. Coronation chicken, you can't. Do you know what? Put it in a sandwich, put it in your wallet. It's good every day of the year. You can't go wrong. Coronation chicken. Coronation chicken. Slap on a bear, put it in a baguette. I don't care. Love it. Do I use Goodreads or anything else to track your reading? I'm asking a lot of people to do things in the chat, but I'd like to know, is this storyboard? Is this new like beta that they're trying where you can kind of like pull your data across? Is that any good? Because I use Goodreads solely, what do I track my reading? I suppose I do in some way. Because I use it as my bookmark. So where it says what page are you on, that's just my bookmark. So I'll just open up Goodreads, say I'm on like 120 pages. So I don't know where it is. So if I put it down or I kind of forget, I kind of like keep a log that way. So it's just it's my book. Basically, it's just my bookmark, and then the login of the stars. But I don't like the stars. I hate the star rating. I hate it. Because 5's too narrow. It's too narrow. So normally I just divide what my score is by 2, and then whoever's closest, I'll just choose one of them. So if it's like 3 episodes, it's like 1.5. I'll just give it like a 1 or a 2 or something like that. Yeah, and they want Book X. I tried, didn't get on with it, and I signed up to Litty. I didn't think it was that great. But maybe I don't think I'll jump on Storyboard now in the beta. I kind of want to see it because there's a lot of talk about it at the moment. Like if it's any good, I don't really. I don't think it has a page number feature. Like that's all I use it for, really. Goodreads, just to kind of like track my pages. So that's all I need to like sort it for. But I'll see once like the beta goes and like all the I don't know, updates and patches. Maybe I'll consider it, but I want to see more people like actually use it. I kind of like actually have it like proper like user tested. That's it. Have I read In Cold Blood? Yes, waste of my time. I absolutely hated it. Not good. Like a solid. Maybe like a Testaments Club. Testaments Club or 3. If I had to think about it, it's like 2 or 3 for me. It's just boring. Will I ever finish David Bain's How It Works? Been reading it for 3 years now. End of 2020. Noel. It's going to be finished. You're going to put all your heart and soul into it. And then when you do that, we jump into a suitable boy. Yes. Truman Capote, I don't like. I read Breakfast at Tiffany's, and I was just like, oh, waste of my time. And I read, is it the Sunflower? Waste of my time. I just don't like him. I don't really get the why he's so famous. But I think he was more of a personality. Than like, I don't know. He doesn't do it for me. Who else? Oh, I did read Noughts and Crosses by Maureen Blackman. I thought that was bad. Yeah, it's just unsettling how close Capote got to murderers just for them to get executed. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it's a bit, but I didn't get the point of it. No, I knew what the point of it was. I was just kind of like, okay. That was like the first like non-fiction fiction, or what did he call it? Was it fictional non-fiction? Yeah. I don't know. I know they teach in the UK, but I feel as though for that type of work, like there surely must be something like more modern, more current, more relevant than In Cold Blood. Yeah. Sorry, I know everyone loves In Cold Blood, but I've always been like, yeah, it's okay, I suppose. And now I have a channel. I've got to be honest with you, peeps. Let's have a look. Are there any more questions? Has there been a character in a novel who has inspired or influenced your views about life or death? Oh, I remember. I've been asked this a few times, and someone messaged me. They said they couldn't make it onto the live stream. But like, what character do I feel most like, or what character do I see like in myself, or like most represents me? I have no idea. But influence about life and death, probably like the Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky. It's pretty religious. I thought it was really good. I think he made a really good case on that. I know Dostoevsky's like angling for Christian spirituality, but I don't think he's handed with it. Other people might say he is, but I thought he was very adept at articulating an argument that doesn't feel as though he's like prescribing you. Yeah, I'd probably say Brothers Karamazov. But do I recommend people read it? I mean, it's a big book. It's like 900 pages, but you know, if you got the time. And do I speak Welsh? No, I don't. Well, I could probably I can get myself around. So I learned it from the age of 3 till the age of 16. But I'm trying to like get back into it. So I'd probably say like I'm an adult learner of Welsh. I'm trying to like dip back into it, but it's not something I'm what's the word? I'm not fluent, but like if push came to shove and I needed to like wrangle my way in or out of a conversation, like it happened. Do I read non-fiction? I listen to non-fiction, but I don't tend to enjoy listening to non-fiction. I would rather listen to a podcast about non-fictional stuff than like to read like a book solely on something. So I would listen to like say Freakonomics, but I wouldn't like sit down to read Freakonomics or like some investigative journalism or maybe like anything about like race and empire and colonialism. I wouldn't want to like sit down with a book. I'd rather like listen to people's stories or like more like podcasts or radio shows. I'll go for that for my non-fiction rather than like a reading. And I'm a little tipsy. This is 6%, and it's horrendous. But if anyone's drinking, let me know. Let me know what you're drinking. I want to know that. I want to know. Have I read any German authors? I own Thomas Mann. I really want to read him. I did a lot of expressionist plays. So stop. We're stopping right there. Okay. I have an idea, and I really want to know everyone's opinions on this. So I want to do. I don't want to call it a read along because I don't like the name of that. But this is really inspired by CJ Reads, and she's been doing a newsletter, which I shouted out in my, I think they call it community tabs on YouTube. Really fantastic, and I highly recommend that. But it really like it kind of like clicked with me. With something that I hope John's still on. John Warner, if you're there, F's in the chat for John. And so it really is inspired by him and CJ. So John said that he was given like emails emails of Goethe's The Sorrows of Young Werther. And he would read, like, it would be translated for him, and he would like read it like as it came up, because it's written like epistolary. You've drunk too much. It's written in the form of letters. And what I would love to do is, what I really want to do this, so let me know if you're interested, is just set up like a newsletter where over the space of, and it would be about 9 months, you'd get in your inbox like the letter on the day, like from Werther. So you'd kind of be doing like a read along in that sense, but you would like have the emails from Werther. But like, I want to do that, so I think that's just like a really interesting experiment, just to kind of like keep getting letters, just to kind of get that sense of like the time that it takes. But it's an old novel, The Sorrows of Young Werther, but I just think that might just be like interesting, a little bit quirky, and like an interesting way to read a classic, rather than saying, "Hi guys, here's a Discord. We're going to be reading Young Werther over like a month." Whereas this like forces people to like have the journey as it goes along. I think that might be quite interesting. Let me know if you think it's a horrendous idea, that there would be a book of like 100 pages over the space of like 9 months. That's what I'm thinking. German authors. Okay. I'm really trying to think. Why can't I think? German authors. Come on, Kieran. Did the expressions plays, but even they're like leaving the top of my head. I've read Wedekind. Wedekind. I've read him. I've read Buchner. Buchner. One of those. I have to read Goethe. But what I will probably do for YouTube is I'll read Dr. Faustus. Sorry, just Faust, Acts 1 and 2, and then I want Thomas Mann's Faustus, and just kind of have a like logical like movement to see like where those trains of thoughts go, and I think that might be an interesting like idea for 2 videos, and like to see how they kind of work together as one. I'm interested in doing that. German, come on, Kieran, you must know one. You must have read some German authors. Come on. Like I have Nietzsche. God, why can't I think of anything? There's probably like one like really obvious German writer that I could think of. I think I want to say Oskar Koschka. Who had a wooden wife. That's an interesting story. But I think he was Austrian, not German. Brecht, yeah, Bertolt Brecht, yeah. I'm really trying to think. I guess really, I'm trying to think like even like modern day German authors or anything translated from the German, and I really can't think of anything. Hans Fallada, I've not heard of him. That's really interesting that you say that. I think it's with translated works. I think it's kind of like really interesting when you think like how. I think that's kind of like the moment I realize how narrow my reading is. Yeah. You read the comments on my face? Yeah, I read Karl Marx to see Cope and Frederick Engels, 2 for the price of 1. Yes, mate. I feel as though I'm like really missing an obvious Kafka. Oh my god, yes, Kafka. What's wrong with me? It's called Two Beers Deep. That's what it's called. Oh god, Franz Kafka. Yeah. What's wrong with me, people? My favorite Franz Kafka story, if anyone's interested, maybe no one, who knows, would either be Poseidon or what's it called? The coal. I think it's called Coal Giver or like the Coal Transport. I think both of them are like maybe like under 500 words. Absolutely love them. I've not read any. I haven't read his longer stuff, so I haven't read Stoker, and I haven't read The Trial. Probably should get on there. I'm a fraud. Catherine, yeah, really. Oh, I've read America. Pulled it back in at the last minute. Herman Hesse. I've not read any Herman Hesse. I haven't read Siddhartha, and I've not read Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf? Did he read Steppenwolf? I feel as though he read Steppenwolf. But I do not own a copy of Siddhartha. But I do want to read Siddhartha. But I kind of know what Siddhartha's about. Kafka's check. No, Noel, like we're doing so well. I was bringing it back in, and now you've just hit me out of the park. Darn it! Probably should, yeah. Hesse. I feel as though I'm missing someone, like really obvious. You're not German. I'm going from like one books, just going. You're not German. You're not German. You're not German. Who's German? Come on, shout out. You're not German. No one's German. No one's German. Have I read non-fiction German? No. Coiny Reads, absolute fave of mine. She asked me, what should she do for 500 subscribers? We said, make a cake. She did it. But did she sieve her flour out? No, no, no. So I corrected that by sending her some books telling her, please sieve out your flour. It was one of my favourite book day moments so far, to be honest. Making someone do that. Favourite films. I have the favourite film. My favourite film. I have a. Why am I saying it's I have a favourite? Of course I do. Which would be Eraserhead by David Lynch. Incredible. Incredible movie. But I adore David Lynch. I know he's not for everyone, but like Eraserhead, David Lynch. Fantastic. Also, I really like Little Miss Sunshine, and I don't care what people say because it's amazing. And what did I study at A level and university? She wanted to know. I didn't do English for my A levels. So just in case anyone doesn't know, A levels are the um, exams you need to take to get into like university, and they're all like on certain subjects. So I did chemistry, biology, history, and drama, and I wanted to get into. I know it sounds really weird now I say this and look back, but I really wanted to get into dermatology. Why? I don't know, but I did, and that's like what I was focused on. Chemistry, biology, like pedal to the metal. Like that's what I am doing. Took history because it was my highest GCSE, so thought if I'm good at it, I might as well continue with it, just to get like higher grades because that's what it's all about really in school, isn't it? And I took drama because I enjoyed drama, but the school that I went to for GCSEs up until I was 16, they didn't do drama, but who would then turn out probably to be like one of the most influential people like ever, who like I still speak to today, as you love her, Mrs. Roblin. As you love her, so influential. Like the only person I think who's like believed in me at some stages. She watched my reviews, and I just loved her. She's great. I went to a retirement party. After that was like 8 years after I left. 6 years after I left the school. I just love her. And yeah, she took a punt on me. She was like, "Yeah, go on, let's do it." I wanted to do like dermatology, and I got work experience in the dermatology labs in one of the big hospitals in Wales for 5 days, and it was the worst thing in the world. It was a joke, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do drama, but I don't want to do soul drama. I want to make it like a bit more academic. I don't know why I don't know why I thought this way when I was 18. So I did a joint degree, drama and English. But yes, also I went to the university being like the interview, and they were like, "You haven't done English for A level." And I went, "Nope." As I was in one class, so bad. One class where they would do like the introduction to Alice Walker's The Color Purple, and I went, "Nah, I don't want to study this." Um, and left. I still have the book from the school. Kept that, obviously. And never saw English again. And then when I was in university, found out I hated drama. Like it killed my passion in university for drama. But the two lecturers who I'm now doing my PhD with, they just really saw something in me and like really took me under their wing and were like, this is what like you need to do to like really get the grades. Again, like even before university, I was still speaking to them like after I graduated, like seeing how they're doing and everything. And yeah, that's kind of like where I am now, where like literature and books have kind of like overtaken everything else. But it's interesting, like I wouldn't have thought that. Did I start university 7 years ago? 8 years ago? Like never would have said I would have been in this situation, like talking about books online with people. I'm like no chance. Wouldn't even dreamt of it. Have you read Mother Night by Kurt Vonnegut? I've read Cat's Cradle. I've read Slaughterhouse 5 Breakfast of Champions. Time Quake, which is the worst. Up there one of the worst novels I've ever read. And what's the other one I read? I think I started. Is it Good Morning, Mr. Roosevelt, or Good Night, Mr. Roosevelt? Didn't get on with that as well. And then yes, Twin Peaks. Okay, Twin Peaks. Love them all. Love them all. Apart from I was in Davy Jones. Not Davy Jones. Dougie Jones. I did way too long. Way too long. But season 3, like the Garma Bros you're scene in the car with the old lady. You know the scene if you've seen it. You know the scene if you've seen it. That was a bit crazy. And Coop at the end with Laura Dern's character. That went on for way too long. Like way too long. But I was glad the giant came back. I was very happy for that. I'm trying to think what other do I have any other questions? What is your favorite book that you find difficult to recommend and why? Infinite Jest. I'll tell you now. You try to recommend a 1,400-page book to anyone and see them go, okay then. Like maybe like up to 1,000 possibly, but as soon as you say like it's over 1,000 pages, like you are asking something of someone. I really want people to read it. What we got? Andrew Russell asked. Oh no, this is, I like this. What first? We'll try again. What first attracts you to a novel? Um. I'm taking this as like I've considered like who the author is. Have I read any of the other stuff? Is it literary fiction? I'd probably say that. What attracts you to a novel? Probably that I've heard someone speak about it. In either a really positive way or a highly negative way. Like if someone like really hates the book, like I passionately hate something, that is more of an endorsement for me to pick it up to see if I agree or not than someone really liking a book. That sounds like a really odd thing. I know. People don't get it. Another thing that doesn't really, and it's not really part of this question, but is that let me know if you hate it. It's fine. I always read the last sentence of every book that I buy, and before I pick up a book, I read the last sentence. Always, I've always done it. Don't ask why. GK reads. Just so you know, if not over at GK, get over to GK's reads. GK reads the best books. That's what it should be called. Yeah, no, yeah. As soon as I start a book, I read the last sentence. So let's do it now. Still aside, what's the last sentence? We're just gonna get this. Just gonna keep my voice alive. There we go. Done. And then I'll start reading it. Kill a Mockingbird. What's this one? Okay. People always think you get spoilers from reading the last sentence. I'll tell you now. If a book is ruined by the last sentence, you're reading a bad book. He would be there all night, and he would be there when Jem waked up in the morning. Marvelous. What a beautiful. What's this one? What's the one with the hillbillies? I feel sorry for anyone who's coming at the wrong time. Just then, he pinched his sphincter. It's the type of story that everyone wants to read. We don't know the last sentence of this because we're scared. F's in the chat, people. F's in the chat. I think it's the last question. Eric Carl Anderson. The Book of Man. I am merely the book boy. But I think we can all agree that Eric Carl Anderson, the Book of Man, the Book OG. Cut him open, he bleeds. Shortlist. If I became a Booker judge, what rules would I break? What fiction should be dipped in gold, and what books should be ejected from the building? What rules would I break? What rules would I break? I should know, so I read all of them. Probably length of book. I think that would be the one I break. I wouldn't mind seeing some like novellas come in, but I know like Julian Barnes won it, and that feels like really weird. The sense of an ending came. The last book in series. I've only choose the middle ones. Anything before and after. Probably something like about page limit. I think that's one that would be interesting. I don't think there's anything else. But I think there is a page limit, but I quite like to open it up. I'd like to see some more like short fiction. But not short stories. I don't like short stories. I don't like short story collections. No, I won't be reading them. I hate them. What fiction should be dipped in gold, and what books would you eject for the building? Okay, anything that's like timely. Anything that's like really written for like now. I tend not to get on with those books. Anything that's like you have to be like at this moment in time, you have to be like in 2020, you have to be in COVID, and like anything else, you're never gonna know. I think it's one of the reasons why Ali Smith's Seasonal Quartet I don't get on with, because I don't like Summer. I read Summer. But like, no one's going to be reading it in 50 years. No one's going to get it. I'm really sorry. I apologize, everyone. I think it's like one of the reasons why, like, yeah. I was about to say, why do you read the Seasonal Quartet? That's kind of Recon and do. Yeah, like it's just like now. No, it's maybe something like that. What fiction should be dipped in gold? I quite like more experimental books. But then you cross a really thin line with experimentalism. You either hit it on the head or you miss the mark. And the only thing with experimentalism is that you are either you're instantly a Marmite book. You either like everyone's like one end or everyone's the other end. Like the amount of people like Rachel Cusk's Transit trilogy, like the amount of people who are like, it's incredible, and the other people are like, what was this? There's no in between. No one says like it's okay. I don't think I've ever met anyone that said that. And what book have I read Jeff from the Build It? Maybe something that's like maybe books say that they're comedy. Because generally as soon as people put like on like the not like the bylines, but the like like a praise for a book, and it goes like dazzlingly hilarious, like I laughed off my seat into a main road. And I read them, I don't find them in any way, shape, or all funny. Yeah, anyone who says it was comic made them laugh out loud, I wouldn't be. I'd eject straight away. No, 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 no. Greetings from Turkey. Hello. Like, look at all these peeps. I'm loving it, mate. Um, Sense of Ending messed with my head. I don't think I own Sense of Ending. No, I don't. I think it's one of the very few I don't own physically. Why is that? Why do I own all the others and not that one? I think I'm missing like two. Haven't got my own copy of Life of Pi. I can just keep buying it. I just keep buying it from the library. Just keep taking it out from the library. I haven't got Sense of Ending. Interesting. We'll sort that out soon. Oh god, we got loads more people. Drop your address, I'll send it to you. Grace, I could never do that. I could never accept books from people. I'm more than happy to just pass mine all out, but I'd never be able to do that. Never. I'm a giver, not a receiver. I'm happy with that sentence. I don't think it's any of the questions. I think I've pretty much, apart from some of them, are like repeats. No, I got more. Draw your book. I know Paul is in his text. Would you like to publish a book in the future, and what would it be about? Is he gonna do it? He's gonna do it. Plug. It's not a plug because I can't get it. No one's interested. No, that's a lie. A lie. Two people were interested until they got the full thing. Darn it. So this is Locals. It's by this person. You might know him. It's called Kieran Evans. It's me. Hi. So this is a I think the word's probably more so now, like auto fiction, I suppose, but kind of like me growing up in this. So where I grew up, it's highly, it's not a great place to live, to be honest. It's very people stuck in their own ways. And what you have is kind of like with Thatcher and the mines, everything's kind of like it's still static. So you still have people who moan about the mines being shut, and you have this generation of kids who like they're just there. And I was very much like in this spot of I was just kind of like not like existing, but like university was kind of this like why would you, like, I was the first person like in my family to go to university, and it was still a little bit of like I don't really know why you're doing it, like can't you just like get a job. But there's no jobs up there, so you just get like people like on the dole. I know like really good friends of mine, and they're just like living it up on benefits, like just wasting away. So it's like a little bit based on that, but it's like I don't go there that often because like the culture shock from living like outside and coming back is so alienating. It's just like highly racist and highly like homophobic where I am. Like just highly, I'll happily say that and like like just say it. It's horrendous. And the person I was like leaving my hometown to where I am now is like completely different. Like I do look back at like what I would say and what I would do, and I'm just a bit like, oh no, like I had like linity. There's just like this image that you have to be. But I've been working on this since I thought I finished it. This little thing, buddies. I thought I finished it. And then I came back to it like 2 years ago. It was like no chance, like nowhere near. And so there's that, and I'm working on another one at the moment, and I might do like the is it called like NaNoWriMo, just to kind of like get up, like just to like get the word out. I'm 10,000 into that, and it's a like a like a magic realism story that's based off of like The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. Yeah. So yeah, so I might do NaNoWriMo, or not even like to finish the book, but just to kind of like work on it because I'm like Donna Tartt, like I'll do I'll do like a lot for a month, and then I kind of like peter out from there, and kind of like dip back in like monthly slots. But yeah, so I I would love to be published. I just don't think anything that I write's of like any value to, or not any value. I don't think it's not like I don't like it's not commercial in any way, shape, or form. So there's that part. I think what I'm talking about maybe isn't interesting. I'd probably say that more than anything, but I love it. And I do have another one but I parked, and that's kind of a cross between, I would probably say, The Jungle by Upton Sinclair and like Cat's Cradle by Vonnegut. But I parked that aside. Saltwater by Jessica Andrews writes about how that feels. I've never heard of that. Hmm. Saltwater. Is that the? No, that's the Salt Path. I'll have a look at that one. I'll definitely have a look there. And how do I approach reviewing a book? Do you read a book differently if you know you want to review it? No, I don't. I don't view the book differently because I know. Every book that I read, I'm like at the end of it, I will review it. And there's some books where I'll go ahead with the idea, and other books where I just won't. And it's probably been since I've started doing this, 3 books that I've just decided like I have nothing to say, like at all. The only exceptions, well, if you say that, I'm kind of at this point with Redhead by the Side of the Road. I'm like halfway through it, and I'm like I have like nothing to say. But I'll do something because it's kind of like the what's it called? The prerequisite for me reading all the books is the kind of I have to review them all, and to leave one out would feel a little bit weird. Despite how controversial the book might be, talking about another book, but I'm not saying it because that causes a huge tangent in anything I've done live. But I will read it, I will review it, and we'll see it from there. And how do I approach reviewing a book? So I'm always looking for like really set certain things. But what you need to know in regards to the scores, because I think people get like really confused by the scores at times. People go, "Where you give what?" Okay, so there's a few different things that I'm looking for, but the scale is really it really like the foundation is on would I personally recommend this book? So if someone came up to me in the street and went, recommend me a book, like how likely am I going to say that book over everything else? And then really what you gotta view like the 0 to 10, there is a zero. There is a zero on the scale. So one's not actually the worst. Is like like strongly recommend, and I would never recommend this like in like at all. If someone was to say like what book shouldn't I read, they are the books that's going to be like brought up. That's where like How to Be Both comes in. That's how another thought experiment it comes into it. There's a zero in the pipeline. Is a zero in the pipeline. I just got to it's an old book, but I need to like reread it, but I'll probably get that up like 2 weeks time. Um, and it is related to the Booker in some way, shape, or form. Um, yeah. Interestingly, only because Angela just said DNF, I wouldn't review something if I didn't finish it. If I didn't finish it, I would just leave it at that. Just in case anyone's interested. Probably not. But that's kind of like how do I approach? Happily, I will say this: every video I do is on the fly. I haven't like thought of anything in advance, like at all. It's just kind of like it's done. Hour, 2 hours, boop, done. But yeah, and then this was another question. I know John's just I picked up from John, but loads of people messaged me on like the Instagram as well, being like, "About my beard." Of like shaving it off, like how does that make me feel? Um, I'm fine with it. I mean, how many weeks has it been? Like 3 weeks. How it is? How much of these sills is gold? Then do wilderness. I've never thought of it. It's been 3 weeks since I shaved. Like my beard grows back quite quickly, so I don't. So everyone asked about my beard and how did I feel. I was completely fine with it. I was very cold, but um, how do I feel about books? I don't normally talk about in regards to poetry. I really do. I do want to move into some poetry. I do. It feels really weird to like rate poetry or like a collection. Um, something can be like that doesn't. It doesn't. I don't know. Maybe. Um, I don't know. How would other people view it? I'm interested in regards to that. Like, how would you judge each individual story, or do you like the collection? Then, like, if there's like, one really really good story that you want to like focus on, but the rest of it's awful. Where have you come from? Why are you in here? Sorry, I'm a cat. Hello. Come on, Pud Pud. Come on, buddy, old pal. Come say hi. What are you hiding in here? This is Pud Pud Wood, everyone. She has no ears. I mean, they're like little stubs. How are you? Where have you been hiding? Oh, great. I feel like poetry is easier than short stories, but you know what I mean. But I know what you mean. Sorry. I think you're more likely to gel as a whole poetry collection, but short stories seem much more mixed to me. Yeah, I feel as though. I mean, I'd love to do. That was rude, madam. Just slapped her in the face. I would love to do a video on Rupi Kaur, who is possibly the worst poet. I hate Ruby Kaur with a passion. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna let you know here. I hate Ruby Kaur. They're just formulaic. You can write anyone can write a Ruby Kaur poem. You say, um, you you make a statement, make it vaguely about them, vague ending. Boom, Ruby Kaur poem. Wash, repeat. Wash, repeat. That's it. That's a Ruby Kaur poem. Let me go. Let me think. The sun sets in the west. She rises in the east. Daylight savings. Ruby Kaur. Um, let me think of something else. Give me a statement. Let me give it. Let me think. Les Mis is a long book, but I could read her face in a second. Was she? Ruby Kaur. Let's think of something else. Bang, and the dirt is gone, but you were a stain, immovable. Ruby Kaur, 2020. Pud, I don't know if you're like heckling me or congratulating me, but this like passive aggressiveness is not working, my darling. I love you too. Come over here. We're talking about Ruby Kaur and how awful she is as a poet. I'm Barry White. Yes, there we go. I always get my MOT annually, but she always failed me. Worn out tires. But tires is spelled of like she tires me out. Ruby Kaur 2020. Give me things. I'll make Ruby Kaur poems out of them. Give me anything. McDonald's. I'm loving it. Grease were on my fingers. You provided napkins. Ruby Kaur 2020. What we got? Let's have a look at this. Is a German beer. This is all in German. Brewing for 700 years. Okay, we got it. Okay, we got it. Okay. Brewing 700 years. But her anger was fermenting after our conversation. Rupi Kaur 2020. Bam. Transcendent. I don't even know if that's a hint or you're just telling me how Rupi Kaur poetry works. Transcendent. Okay. This one's called Rupi Kaur Transcendental. Okay. Pi is a transcendental number. And I always thought our conversations were otherworldly during dessert. Rupi Kaur 2020. And we know she's burnt sugar. Burnt sugar. But to me, tastes of caramel. But she tastes of caramel. But he tastes of caramel. Rupi Kaur 2020. Vernon Godlittle. But to me, he was great. Rupi Kaur 2020. 20. Pass them over to me, people. Crime and punishment. Did I deserve either? Ruby Cow 2020. The Brothers Karamazov. No, I can't think of that one. No. Come on, Kim, you can do this. Yes! Okay. Brothers Karamazov. Okay. They were the Brothers Karamazov, but they didn't see themselves as family. Rupi Kaur 2020. Wow. You know, real life. Oh, easy. You just got to do a 2-pack thing. You got to go real life, realize, real eyes. Rupi Kaur feature 2-pack 2020. Or you go, he thought it was real life. 5 years ago, it was only campus life. Rupi Kaur 2020. I'm up for this. Rupi Kaur. Okay. Max Porter is the worst poet. I read Grief is Figure Feathers a few years ago when I understood nothing. It's the bit where everyone just shoves the feather up his bum. And I was like, cool. I need to talk about someone faking business. I read about someone faking an Instagram post for like 2 weeks. So hashtags. Yeah. Oh, an absurd number of followers at once. No effort. Oh, hang on. It took all my effort for this task to be no effort. Ruby Kaur 2020. Pass them on, people. This is how we're finishing this. I'm all for Ruby Kaur. What we got? What have we got? Like, oh, a brief history of 7 killings. That's the title. Brief history of 7 killings. She held the gun. Ruby Kaur 2020. I'm all about this being a series because people think Ruby Kaur is really complex. She ain't. Pass me more. I'm for this now. Oh, A Little Life by Hannah Yanagihara. Boom. There we go. Let's do one on. Let's do this. Okay. A Little Life. Hang on. Oh, what's the full quote is? You must have a little life in you. Yeah, it was okay. A Little Life by Ruby Kaur. Okay. You must have a little life in you, he said. And it'd be something like exhales. Oh, Ruby Kaur 2020. What other ones have we got? We got loads. We got loads more. Wash, rinse, repeat, people. Wash, rinse, repeat. Okay. Lord Byron's poems. Let's just grab. Okay. Can someone give me a page number out of 460? Because just give me a page number, and I'm gonna grab something from Lord Byron, and we'll make a Ruby Cow poem in it. This is great. I'm all up for this. Your page number, people. 27. Okay, let's go. 27. The child departed from his father's hall. He was his own man. Ruby Cow 2020. 300. Oh, this one. Okay, so this is Don Juan, Canto the 16th, verse 33. This is just a Ruby Cow poem. Quite well, yes, no. The answers were mysterious. Ruby Cow 2020. Boom. 7. What have we got here? Okay. To Ida, full oft may resemblance restore me. Okay, this is okay. This is a bit harder. Okay, no, we're gonna go for page 7. I would I were a careless child. 27 years later, I am. Ruby Kaur, 2020. You know what I mean? State and someone vague. The 3 rules to write in Rupi Kaur poetry. It's so vague. So vague. Here we go. Labels. Everyone, calm down. This is proper. It's got to be like a play on words with labels somewhere. Okay. Address labels. Address labels. I turn our house to a home. Rupi Kaur. Bada bing, bada boom, people. What else we got? We got loads of stuff. We got somebody here. Let's go for Evan the Hillbilly story. Oh, what a dive, Gray thought. Due in the morning. Rupi Kaur 2020. That's it. Marvelous. I think I'm going to end it on that note. With Rupi Kaur 2020. Because it's been 2 hours. Would I rather read Rupi Kaur or Ali Smith? I can have fun with Rupi Kaur. Just like laughing at how pointless it all is. Please publish a book of poetry satires. I will become the poet Rupi Kaur 2020. A 120 would be numbers, 120 would be words. Rupi Kaur 2020. Thank you all so much for this Q&A. It's been fantastic. We'll do it again. We'll do a Rupi Kaur special. I'll just whap out 24. Do you want to Helen Frost? Let's do it. This is the end. After this, I'm going to end the stream. 24. Oh, tread those reviving passions down. Okay, tread those reviving passions down. Tread those reviving passions down. Doc Martens down a lane. Rupi Kaur 2020.